You're fast. Keep rolling, baby. Let's see some. No lights, dark as a motherfucker. It says 279.
So when we talk about our kind of dislike of regime change now, it's more than just regime change. It's the whole set of things that we did along with regime change in parts of the world that we didn't understand very well. But Reza seems different, the prince, because he's been in this country a very long time. He's made it clear that he wants to support a transition and he wants the people to decide. And I think so many Iranians are listening to him. He has a special place, I think, if based on what Lisa has said, because he is respected, because compared to what they've lived under for the past nearly 50 years, his family there's a different look at his family and his father's rule.
Yeah.
And there were some better days
Right.
in the 1970s. Women were educated in the legislature, doctors, lawyers playing a critical role in what was becoming an advanced society.
And maybe despite his father's missteps at times, which, as I understand it, I just reread Rizad Kapuscinski's Shah of Shahs. Some of those were possibly medically induced. He had medical issues, the Shah, Lisa. But to Kyron's point, it is very important in this situation that it is, and I ask you as the Iranian American at the table, that the Iranian people drive what comes next.
Absolutely, and they have. But we can't be naive to think that they can do it all alone. A nod by the President of the United States would go a long way, of course. That's why we've seen meetings between Reza Pahlavi and the White House, and that is a very positive move going forward. But the people of Iran have asked for Reza Pahlavi. Those are the signs that are being held up, his picture being held up. Like I said, there is this nostalgia for what was happening in the 1970s. I also want to talk about thousands of years of civilization. We're talking about a very proud Iranian people who are incredibly nationalistic, patriotic. They look at the last 47 years as a blip. They want to erase this blip. They want to remove this blip, and they want the help of the United States and Israel in this case to do so. I've written many op-eds in the last decade or so, more so in the last few years. Not all regime changes are created equal. While the United States had made mistakes in Afghanistan, in Syria, and many of the examples that were brought up tonight, Iran is very different. This is being driven by the people of Iran. They're not asking for boots on the ground. They're not asking for us to decide how their garbage is taken out the day after we help collapse the regime. President Trump has done something beautifully in terms of harmonizing the U.S. strategic imperative, which is no nuclear weapons, with getting them to the brink of, here, we will now pass the baton to the Iranian people. Now go seize the day.
Yeah.
President Trump sees it, Bibi Netanyahu sees it, the Iranian people see it, and of course, Reza Pahlavi.
We're holding the ground with this shit.
Guys, most people.
Okay, so we have more corruption out of Fulton County. So I wanted to highlight this. Fulton County Election Board faces $10,000 a day fine for not appointing Republicans. And this $10,000 a day is really taxpayers paying this fine. And they're being fined because Democrats voted against appointing two candidates known for election denialism and voter registration challenges. So Fulton County Commission in Georgia will be fined $10,000 a day for violating a court order to appoint two Republicans associated with Trump-aligned groups pushing voter fraud conspiracies to the county's election board. The county charter states that commissioners shall appoint two Republicans and two Democrats nominated by their respective county party chairperson for a 2-year term. When commissioners rejected the nomination by Fulton County's Republican Party chair, the Superior Court Judge David Emerson issued an order requiring the board to appoint them. In a civil contempt case that threatened jail time, Emerson found the Democratic commissioners have been stubbornly litigious litigious and acted in bad faith in his conduct prior to this litigation by his failure to comply with clear local legislation which forced the plaintiff to file this action. Emerson rulings Wednesday states, Emerson awarded attorney fees to the Republicans' plaintiff. The plaintiff is seeking an order of both civil and criminal contempt for failing to comply with the order. Civil contempt has historically meant an ever-increasing series of daily fines until the board complies with the order. But finding of criminal contempt would have meant jail time until enough Democratic commissioners agree to vote for the appointment.
That would have been cute. Then you hear the Democratic Party holler about respect for law. They forget the order part of it. They just don't want to comply. See, the American system is based on establishing consensus. The First Amendment guarantees freedom of the press, freedom of the speech, and when people get that, they can debate issues fully with great information sources to back them up and let the people decide what they're going to do and reach a consensus. But the Democratic Party wants to take the fascist position and say, well, we don't trust our position of being able to survive full scrutiny and discussion and discourse, so we want to limit what gets said. So these people, which is the prerogative of the Republican Party, to say, hey, in line with the third most popular topic concerning elections in American history, election fraud, which is the third most popular subject, we have people that in their analysis suggest that the election was not right, and also et cetera, but the Democrats say we don't want that heard because we are fearful that if somebody got the full facts and the full presentation in the light of day, they wouldn't go for our side. So let's break the rules and restrict it. And that comes back after setting a very negative precedent. That'll haunt them.
$10,000 a day, that's taxpayers paying.
Of course, it's Donald Trump's fault, they'll say, somehow or another. That's the same situation Fani Willis is in. She's claiming that having to pay Trump's lawyer fees are a fraud upon the people. No, she's the bozo that brought the charges that never should have been brought because it was lawfare. That's why we have the Bill of Rights, to protect from lawfare. So she discarded the Bill of Rights and then compounded the thing by stupidly not asserting the Fifth Amendment and incriminating herself and a lot of others and opening up all big cans of juicy, nasty looking worms to be inspected closely. Oh.
A Georgia Democrat indicted for alleged pandemic unemployment fraud. A city Georgia state lawmaker is now facing federal criminal charges after prosecutors say he fraudulently collected thousands of dollars in pandemic unemployment benefits while continuing to earn income from multiple sources, including his taxpayer-funded salary. So taxpayers pay these public politicians, public officials' salaries. Georgia State Rep Dexter Sharper, a Democrat, was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges alleging he illegally obtained more than $13,000 in COVID-era unemployment assistance while operating a private business, working as a substitute teacher, and serving as an elected legislator.
You know, that's kind of, if they prove it beyond a reasonable doubt or he pleads guilty, that's a classic dumb crook case. You know, you've got a government job where they have the records in their own hands already. They don't have to issue subpoenas. They just check their own records and you cold cock busted.
But so how dumb can you be? Or unless...
Well, look at Fani Willis. That was a pretty much dumb case. Or what's the dumb bunny that was up in Baltimore, the U.S. attorney up there that got the prosecutor up there that got herself convicted of fraud? Same kind of thing. It's like the arrogance of somebody thinks they're above it all and they can't get caught. And that's what you have in the inner city. Well, the cities, urban areas all across America where they're blue. It's just an arrogant sense of being above it all, immune from any kind of consequence to what they do that they shouldn't be doing.
So the indictment announced U.S. Attorney Office for Northern District of Georgia makes Sharper the third Georgia Democrat in recent months to face federal charges related to abuse of pandemic relief programs, underscoring what prosecutors say was widespread exploitation of emergency aid intended for struggling Americans. So he was triple dipping, quadruple dipping. Sharper submitted 38 weekly certifications between April 2020 and May 2021 to the Georgia Department of Labor, falsely claiming he was unemployed, had no income, and was actively seeking work. Those certifications allow him to collect $13,000 in emergency unemployment benefits funded through the CARES Act.
How stupid can you get if the facts are proved to be true? But right now he's operating under a presumption of innocence. That's American law. But, we'll see. It ought to be amusing. And by the way, see, what we're beginning to find out is you're looking at the tip of an iceberg with most of it below the surface. And that includes what we're finding out in Minnesota, that not only did this Somali thing about defrauding the state on child care costs and misappropriation of funds, we find out that the total may be several $1 billion, out of which right now our intelligence community says between $100.5 to $280 million has been funneled to our mortal enemies in Al Qaeda and ISIS and their affiliates to operate against the country and to finance these illegals that the open border has seen come across with military-grade explosives in the backpack and remote detonation devices, so when instructed they can watch the fireworks from a couple of miles away as they kill thousands of Americans, because 911 2.0 is on the way. And these Democrats are going to have that's going to be a nasty thing to explain to the public of, it's your fault. You opened the borders and let these folk in. Didn't you have sense enough to know that after 20 plus years, 3 decades of war with Al Qaeda and ISIS in the Middle East and this horrible situation you got with Hamas in Iran and North Korea, that we were vulnerable to infiltrate? It's 911 2.0 is on the way. 3,000 some Americans lost their lives by Al Qaeda training some operatives to infiltrate the American aviation industry and get pilots training, and then sacrifice themselves and play kamikaze, hijack several aircraft and fly them into the Twin Towers in the Pentagon. And but for the intervention of some heroic Americans on board the fourth one, which crashed into an empty field, we would have had a real bad situation get a lot worse. And now those 3,000 people, which by the way beat the death toll at Pearl Harbor in 1941, December 7th, and depending upon which side of the dividing line you're on, and it's going to be worse. They're going to increase their bag a lot more than 3,000, and some people are going to have to answer for what they are responsible for. They really need to understand that they put the American public in great jeopardy. See, we have a War Department that's out there to keep our enemies at a distance. For most of the rest of the world, the enemy is right across a land border that's just 100 yards wide, a militarized zone perhaps, but the United States has the Pacific Ocean on one side, the Atlantic Ocean on the other. And thanks to the Monroe Doctrine, we had a pretty secure southern border that occasionally got violated. Most recently and egregiously was by Pancho Villa in 1916, when General John J. Pershing went on an expedition down there to get him. So other than stuff like that, we've had a pretty secure border, but these idiots that's opened it wide open for some reason, they'd rather have foreigners enjoy the benefits of our tax dollars that American citizens can't get. The hang up as to why the government closed down before was because the Democrats wanted to give illegal families of four up to $5,000 a month. And the supposed attack by the Republicans on Obamacare was actually the way they were carrying it out. Illegals getting free health care and Americans having to pay ridiculous and absurd amounts for it if they could afford to do that. The thing with Venezuela, they set the precedent back in the late 19th century. They stopped some American ships, took the crews off, and in one instance shot the captain and half the crew by firing squad. So, you know, they said that. That was, thank you very much, that was the impetus for Congress deciding to fund a modern American Navy, which acquitted itself well during the Spanish-American War. But see, we forget about these things because it's not as much fun as sports and music and drama and all that other stuff, and it's easily exploitable and encouraged by those who want to use their control of the communications, entertainment, and news industries to propagandize America to accept a mess, which is you are defenseless, helpless, you need to be treated as a child your whole life, and big brother whoops, tranny big sister, no telling what she is, or what she was supposed to be, or what she's claiming to be, being out there very much empowered to take care of you and meanwhile control you from thinking inconvenient thoughts if you decide to wise up. So, yeah.
How we met, where we met was, okay, scratch that.
At the job.
So I used to work at a pizza delivery place. And you know, I'm at work.
I told you. I know where motherfuckers meet at.
Worked like normal. I parked in front of the store this day because they was redoing the parking lot. So he's across the street, y'all. He was in the Hummer truck. Mm-hmm. He got out the car. I looked at him.
Oh, you don't work there though. Okay.
He looked at me. We looking at each other, smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know how that be when you make eye contact with each other and it's like you fall in love at first sight type shit. So, yeah, so I look at him, he look at me.
How many times you got to
And he broke the ice and he was like, so you gonna be my girlfriend or what?
Just right on.
Me being a dumbass, I didn't think nothing about it. I'm like, this man fine, he tall, mind you, I'm tall. He dressed nice, you know, he looked well put together. So
You're gonna be my girlfriend right off the bat. Oh,
Stupid ass said sure.
we ended up exchanging numbers right in there. So I ended up getting an order that was on the same block that he was on. So I walked, no, I didn't walk. I drove to the corner because he was in a corner house. So I drove to the corner and he walked up to my car and we hugged each other like we just knew each other. My
Okay,
God,
love
this
at
man
first sight.
smelled good. He smelled so good. But yes, he was like, I'm gonna take you out later. We're gonna go out later. And
You was all googly googly.
blase. So I was like, you got my number, you know, you can text me and let me know when to be ready, whatever. So he ended up saying we was gonna go to the movies, and I forgot what movie was out there I wanted to see, but long story short, I got off work.
I hate
and
when
we
they
ended
say
up going to
long
the
story
movies.
short, but they still telling you
So
they getting to the
we
car.
get to the movie, And
We paid ticket.
this is the clip that y'all seen where he was like kissing my cheek and stuff. Like literally, this was a couple hours after we had just met. Literally.
Now look at that.
I'm finna insert the clip for y'all.
Oh
so
yeah,
y'all can
thank
see.
you, thank you, thank you.
This video.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, me not thinking nothing of it. So me being me, I'm just thinking like, oh, this is so cute. You know, I fantasize about love and all of that stuff. So I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
Whole time he's loved by me.
Of course.
So we walk off like.
That's what niggas do, boy. They be love bombing y'all till they get that cat, and then they be gone. God damn, fellas, we gotta do better, eh?
We were standing like, this was before we even went into the movie. Standing there, I'm taking videos, whatever, as I just showed y'all the video. So we walking into the theater, and we holding hands like we done been together, like we holding hands. So we get in the movie, and I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. So, we watching the movie, whatever, you know, just chilling, no contact at all. Then eventually, I took my shoes off and I like put my leg over his leg. We in the seats like stretched out, and I put my leg over his leg. So eventually, we watching the movie and stuff. We watching the movie, you know, and he was like, "Touch me," like he literally just wanted to feel some type of physical touch from me because I was.
Oh, I thought he meant like touch me, holy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You can feel that thing real quick. Go on, feel it.
To myself, like, because I was nervous. So he grabbed my hand and he put it on his leg. So after that, you know, I got a little bit more comfortable. Like, I opened up a little more.
Okay.
Getting closer to him, like, cuddling in the seat. Well, in our seat. Then, while we watching the movie, he still kissing my cheek, you know, cute stuff. So we left the movies. My job, it was late at night. Like, we were some of the last people walking out the movie theater. But yeah, everything was cool. On the drive home, like, he didn't ask to come to my house or anything. He didn't ask me to go to his house, but I ended up calling him on the way home. I talked to him the whole way home. So after that, we got close or whatever. It was on the phone every day. So y'all, I do hair. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but I do hair. And I told him that I do hair. So he ended up like constantly begging me to do his hair. And he was asking to come over to my house so that I could do his hair. And me personally, I don't want people to know where I live. So I did not tell him where I live. And he could not come over to my house to get his hair done.
Okay. I don't know you like that, bro. We just went to one movie. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she just didn't feel comfortable. Me personally, I like when y'all let me over. Let me over there. Well, I don't know about that, because some of y'all be having like niggas on the side and a nigga be knocking on the door and I gotta grab my motherfucking pistol and, you know, so I don't really know about going over y'all house type shit.
Then on top of that, I barely even knew anything about this guy. I don't know where he lived at. I don't really know much about him. So, like, when on our phone calls and stuff, it'll be like, he'll be real secretive. Like, I'll ask him certain questions, he's like, he'll beat around the bush about it. Or, he'll just, like, try to change the subject. And a lot of times, our phone calls will only be, like, when he's in his car driving. Or when he was at home, like, late at night in his bed or something. Or he'll call late at night when, you know, I'm sleeping. When, you know, I've been at work for 12 hours.
Oh, shit. Sound like he got another girl. What do y'all think? That's what it sounded like to me. Y'all let me know in the comments below. He can only talk to her at night. The freaks come out at night. What? The freaks come out at night.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, I do not still talk to this guy. I don't talk to him anymore.
Why?
So eventually he started to ask like, maybe we can get like a hotel or something so you can do my hair. This is the night where I posted that second video. I'm going to insert that clip so that y'all can see that one as well. So he ended up saying, oh, I want to take you out or whatever. And I was like, okay. Mind y'all, this is probably like a week into us knowing each other. So this is our second link up. So one of the days that I was working, I had got a KFC chicken sandwich, right?
Yeah.
So I kid y'all not, I literally met him at my job where we met at because you still weren't coming to my house. I parked my car in the parking lot of my job, and I left it there overnight.
Okay.
So I got in the car, everything was cool. And I know that I wanted to get like a little drink. Like it was the weekend, you know, I had been working hard all week and I wanted a drink. So I got a Cutwater. I'm sipping my Cutwater while he's just driving, you know. We just driving. So he started playing old school music. Literally singing to me, y'all. Singing the songs to me, grabbing my face, all type of shit.
Okay, my boy.
I was weak in the knees. But yeah, so we singing love songs to each other while driving. And then on top of that, I'm already tipsy. So it made the vibe even more like, you know, I don't know. Y'all know the word I'm looking for. Intense, I think. Yeah, that word. But yeah, so we get to the chicken spot. He get the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we went to go bowling. So I told him like we couldn't bring the food inside the bowling alley, obviously, because you can't bring outside food or drinks into the bowling alley. So he take the food in anyway. So the people ended up telling us like, oh, we can't bring the food in there, obviously.
Right.
So he ended up grabbing the food and taking it back to the car. Came back in, and then we started to do our shit like it was bowling. While we're bowling, I kid y'all not, every time I took a loss, I'm a crybaby. So every time I took a loss, I was crying about this shit. Like I was having a whole temper tantrum. And he was there like holding me, hugging me, and I'm gonna insert a clip of that as well.
Man, let her win. Not you crying, baby. Let her win. Oh, I didn't mean to cook that one.
She got baby me.
Let her win.
You having a meltdown?
Yeah, so as y'all can see, he was there in every way. Like everything was perfect. Like this man was damn near perfect. And I wasn't thinking nothing of it. We're kissing and shit and everything in the bowling alley like we've been together. Yeah, I was just so stuck. We went bowling. Everything was cool. You know, we was basically together at that point. So we're leaving bowling. Y'all gotta excuse me, I'm sick. We went to the store. And then he started asking me like, where did I want to get a hotel at? So I told him it didn't matter. So we get to the hotel. He paid for the hotel. I go, like we get to the room or whatever. The first thing he does is take his clothes off. Like dead ass in front of me. Just
freaky ass boy. Freaky ass nigga, man. Big old freaky ass boy. Like, damn, bro, let it lead up to it. You ain't gotta get naked like off the back right there like that. Jesus Christ.
Go home. We gotta go home.
But okay. You got naked.
Pretty nude.
Okay.
So he like, oh, I'm about to get in the shower. I'm like, okay, cool. So while he in the shower, I'm eating my food that we had got before we went bowling. So he comes out the shower.
Yeah.
He eating his food. We're conversating. We're chopping it up. Watching. I think it was a basketball game on. So we was watching a basketball game. So
put his dick out as you suck it.
This is where it get kind of juicy.
You got nasty or what?
And explicit.
Oh shit.
Eventually, I'm gonna take my shower.
Yeah.
I did undress in front of him because I felt comfortable. Like he made me feel comfortable enough to do so in front of him. So I went to go get in the shower, and I got out the shower, and I'm putting my lotion and stuff on, and the whole time he just looking at my body like, oh my god, your body's so beautiful. Blase.
Oh my
so I literally, I kid y'all not, I told this man, I knew that he wanted to hunch, so I told him, I said, I'm low-key intimidated. I'm scared because I never did nothing with an older guy before. And he was just like, it's okay, I'm gonna take care of you, da-da-da. Long story short, we ended up boop-a-doop-a-dooping. Yes. I know. Oh my goodness.
It's all good.
So after that, we went to sleep. We went straight to sleep.
As long as she's of age, right?
The next morning, we leave it, and I took pictures too. I'm gonna insert the pictures for y'all so that you can see.
Let me see them.
This is the night.
Ooh. Hey, fellas. She wake up in the morning and she taking pictures like this, you know you put it down. Let's go.
She had to take pictures for the moment.
Pictures, baby. Talking about.
We got the hotel, or the morning after. So, mind y'all, he had a frequent schedule every day, a daily schedule of going to the gym.
Yeah.
So he woke me up early and was like, come on, get ready, we gotta go. He didn't take me to get no food or nothing, he just took me straight home.
Oh, he could have got you some.
He done with you.
After that, y'all, I kid y'all not,
He done with you.
he went ghost for probably like 2 days. I didn't even talk to him, he wasn't answering the phone or nothing for 2.
Damn, bruh. I don't like when
Yeah.
niggas do this type of shit, y'all. I ain't gonna cap to y'all. The girl done gave you some pussy, man. Follow up with the girl. Fuck with her. Man, you give me some pussy, I'm fucking with you. No cap. You feel me? Now if you choose to, you know what I'm saying, disappear and all that, man, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But me, you give me some pussy, I'm gonna text you and call you the next day. I don't want you to feel no type of way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate, man, look, big play, I appreciate that pussy you gave me. What? I appreciate that pussy you gave me, baby. Let me get it again. You know what I'm saying? What? That's fucked up, man.
2 days straight.
That's fucked up.
And then after that, he became even more secretive. Like, I would literally only talk to him when he's outside, like, in his car, driving. And I would call him at all times throughout the day, and he never answered.
That's fucked up.
So then, like, my mom started knowing that I was messing around with him, and she was like, maybe he has something going on, maybe he's married. Y'all, I keep saying that too, but it was not clicking in my head. I knew something was going on, but I don't think... I don't know. I don't know.
For sure, like...
That's how I do it.
Ladies, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, man. Like, ain't nothing better than some pussy. I'm just telling y'all as a man, you feel me? Ain't nothing better than some pussy but some new pussy. You feel me? Nigga only can talk to you at night or only in the mornings, or you know what I'm saying?
Never
you know the
in
nigga
his
fucking
house.
with another girl. Now if you cool with that, you cool with that. I like girls that cool with that too. Like, come on, what? Let's go. Yeah. Shit, we could just, you know what I'm saying? But in this situation, she ain't even know, you know what I'm saying? She was the younger girl, so he just did what he did and did what he did type shit. That's kind of fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But this happens, guys. This is what goes on, you know what I mean?
He did what he did.
I'm getting tired of talking about this shit. But no, so like I was telling y'all, he kept asking to come to my house so I could do his hair, and I just kept like downplaying, like, you know, my stepdad won't allow that and so on and so forth.
Oh,
which
shit.
he wouldn't. But yeah, so he ended up saying,
oh shit, so at the time she was still living with her parents and everything. Damn.
Let's get a hotel room so that you can do my hair. Our first hotel room, it was literally just a hotel room, and then I was supposed to do his hair, but I ended up like leaving my comb. So probably like 2 weeks later, we ended up getting another hotel. Well, he ended up getting another hotel. So this time we go straight to the hotel room. Like we meet up and we went straight to the...
Okay, so I wasn't aware that... I thought this happened one time and the nigga just started disappearing. But I guess he stayed in the loop, kind of, sort of, every now and then. Like, you just ain't gonna talk to me for like maybe 2 days and I'll pop back up. You ain't gonna talk to me for 2-3 days and you pop back up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you need 2 days to get
so I guess he was doing that type of shit.
Hotel room. Mind y'all, we went to the hotel room. I met him at the hotel room. Actually, we met at the hotel room. Like, I drove myself. The first time he drove us, whatever, but the second time, I drove myself.
And y'all did.
So y'all, he had a bag of food, and I'm wondering like why he didn't give me no food. Like,
damn,
you knew we was about to be together. You asked me to come to the hotel room, and then you go like get food. It just be little shit for me. Like, you gonna get food and not get me no food?
It's fucked up.
So that rubbed me the wrong way. So y'all, at this point, I'm still dumb over this man. So I ended up telling him that I would wash his hair. Mind y'all, he had braids in his hair already. I ended up telling him I would wash and do his hair for him. And I had everything to do his hair. Mind y'all, free of charge. So we literally get in the shower together and I'm washing his hair, conditioner in it, detangling it, all type of shit. Like, this process took probably about an hour. We was in the shower for an hour.
Y'all went to work.
So we get out the shower, I blow dry his hair, and I get out the shower, I blow dry his hair, and he was like, I'm gonna insert the clip of me like recording his hair, trying to show him like how much hair he had or whatever, so on and so forth. So yeah, everything was cool.
Y'all went to work.
I braided his hair, birds came out, tea as fuck. I'm gonna show y'all the birds at the end because I don't feel like scrolling and all of that extra shit. I already just have to scroll for that shit. But I mean for that video. But yeah, y'all, right after I got done with his braids, why did he lay on his back?
To get his dick sucked? What?
My y'all, I have to go to work. I have to go to work probably like an hour before. And mind y'all, it took me 30-40 minutes to drive to my job from where the hotel was. So he lay on his back. I'm like, what you doing? I kid y'all not. He said, come suck it.
I told y'all. Told you. Man, I be knowing this shit. I told y'all, man. I'm a nigga, man.
He said, come suck it.
So I went and sucked it.
What I did?
Oh.
I sucked it. Oh my God, y'all, don't judge me.
I'm not judging you, baby.
Oh, shit.
I'm not judging.
I'm fine. I'm okay. But no, I went down there and I sucked it like I never sucked something before.
That's
So y'all, after that, y'all know he finished saying no, absolutely not.
Oh, that's not what happened?
If my family see this, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. But no, for real. So then he ended up asking me like, what time you gotta go to work? Mind you, he know what time I gotta go to work. So me being me, I was already turned up just off doing what I did to him. So I ended up telling him like, I'll go on my app or whatever and, take off for the first hour. I'll use my
Hold on, did she say turned up or turned off? I don't like rewinding and that stuff.
And they turned it up.
time for another hour so we can have more time to do what I knew he wanted to do.
She said turned up.
Obviously. So yeah, I kid y'all not. I forgot a part, y'all. So when I was doing his hair or whatever, he was trying to show me a video and he ended up going to his recent apps and I seen that he was texting somebody. And I watched a female name pop up on his phone. That was my red flag. That's when I knew something was up. That's when I knew to this when I knew. Like, this nigga is a hub. He's a hub. But no, though. So I ended up going to my app, used my time for that hour, and we got to Pound Town, going to Pound Town. Y'all, why did this man ask to get me pregnant? Run in front of that broken.
Damn, I need another sound bite for this. I don't got one. Here we go. What is wrong with you? I just met you, my brother. I don't even think it'd be. You know what? Well, I gotta blame both parties. I seen something the other day on Instagram, and it was like, this is how a relationship used to be. It used to be, it had like steps. It was like meeting, dating, girlfriend, marriage. I think that's what it was, something like that. And then that was like in 1950, right? And then on the other side, it had 2026, and it was like meeting. Oh no, my bad. It was so for 1995, it was meeting, dating, girlfriend, pregnant, marriage, right? And then on 2026, it was like meeting,
Dating.
pregnant, meeting pregnant, goddamn. I was about to say, I blame the niggas, man. Y'all the ones like choosing not to use the condom, but I gotta blame the woman too, because it's like, shit, you ain't make the nigga do it. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. That shit's crazy. Especially for a grown ass man to be like, let me get you pregnant. What? You don't even notice this lady. Like, damn.
I don't know. I might be having a little bit of withdrawal, y'all. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that.
Okay, that's
like
cool.
literally begging me, like,
wow, pathetic.
For real, stop, bro. I play too much. Oh my god, lock in. Like, what? Y'all, I was not.
I ain't gonna lie, that's pathetic, my nigga. You begging to get her pregnant? What's wrong with you, gang?
Going for that pregnancy season. Like, he was begging to impregnate me.
What is that in the background?
So y'all, my God, he did put, when he was finna, he did take off the rubber and did it on my backside, right?
Oh, you hit the fucking
I
back.
hopped straight up after that, and I went to the bathroom. I wiped it off with a fresh hotel white towel.
Okay.
Y'all, why the fuck was it green?
Green.
Oh my god! Ah! Ah!
He had blood in his foot.
He got some other. What? Flag on the play! Flag on the play! What is this? Yo, I didn't even know.
Shit can be green.
I gotta Google this shit real quick. I did not know this shit could be green. That is some nasty shit. Something gotta be green. He gotta have something. Ugh.
Blood in his fucking sperm.
Oh.
Green.
Why was it green?
Oh my god.
It was green and slimy.
Ew.
Yeah, it's supposed to be slimy.
Green.
Green.
I kid y'all not. I was
gotta Google this shit.
Yeah, I didn't even say nothing. I didn't know how to come across it. I didn't know how to say anything about it. I looked at it. I got disgusted. I gagged a little.
Oh shit. Okay, well, it says green tinted or yellowish green semen is not considered normal and usually suggests a underlying health issue, such as prostate infection, prostate infection, sexually transmitted infection, or urinary tract infection. Okay, so you're looking at prostate infection, sexually STDs, and urinary tract. Okay, he got something for sure.
Little maybe. It went right back in there in his face like nothing happened. Like nothing happened.
You ain't tell him? You ain't tell him?
So after that, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of like fucked out my mood and threw my energy off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm ready to
like,
go.
what the fuck? And he knew that. Like, I went in there, I laid down with him for a second, and then I was like, I gotta go.
And this is another thing. I'm polite. I'm going to ask you, like, my first thing I'm trying to do, ladies, no cap. If you let me, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to come on your face. I'm trying to come on your face, right? I gotta test the waters. You gonna let me come on your face?
You sucked it. Green shit.
She'd be like, I'd be like, okay. My next go-to
It's a doctor.
is the titties. You gonna let me come on your titties? Most of the time, they cool with that. So I ain't gotta go no further.
Doctor.
You know what I'm saying?
Get checked out.
The point is, though,
done ate.
and then I might do the ass. The ass ain't too exciting to me. Even if it's big, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I done did it too many times. I want to do some new shit. Because the girl that I was fucking with, like, she ain't really have some big titties. So I used to do the ass all the time. So, like, now I want some titties. Let me know on them titties type shit. Is this TMI? I'm sorry. I got to tell you. But the point is, I asked permission. he just take the condom off and nut on the girl back. Like, bro, what if she didn't want you to do that?
You sucked some green slimy shit.
Damn. Niggas is trifling, boy. Y'all niggas is trifling out here.
Trifling ass. And she's
I'm
stupid
gonna ask.
for doing
Let me
it.
come on your face. Gotta try that one first. Let me come on your titty. It's like mouth, face, whichever one you want. Like, let me come in your mouth. Let me come in your face. Da, da, da. You know that go together. Cause what I'm doing, I'm be like open your mouth type shit. Anyway, all right, TMI. And then you feel me? Like I can say titties and boom. But I at least ask for permission. Is the point? Jesus Christ.
Got ready and went to fucking work. To this day, I still never even brought it up to him.
He didn't go
But I
to see
still
the
not
doctor.
You should have told him
his
his shit was green though.
But yeah, he was always telling me like, "Oh, I'm going to the."
They say my shit tastes good too. So they say it'd be cool, ain't too salty, nothing. It's straight. Like, yeah.
Navy or whatever for training to be a pilot and some more shit. Long story short, after that, he ghosted me. After that last time, he ghosted me.
Damn. He ghosted you the first time a little bit. That's right.
For all y'all girls that keep saying, "Oh, he's so fine. He do look good though." That's what got me, motherfucker. Like what? But don't be a dummy like me. I can't tell y'all what to do, but don't be a dummy like me. Don't catch feelings. If you gonna do it, just don't be a dummy like me, sister. Like, I'm going through withdrawals and shit. Like,
Hey man, that's why I like doing these stories, bro. I fuck with it, bro, cause you know, people who ain't went through this shit could know, like, okay, look for the red flags and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell y'all ladies right now, that shit is not normal. We just Googled it. It's not normal for your fucking semen to be green. And niggas should be kind of like asking for permission. Is that a sexual assault? Hey, is that sexual assault? Like, motherfucker got a condom on, right? Nigga just take the condom off and bust on your ass or bust on your back or whatever the case is. Like, damn, nigga, did you just sexual assault me? Like, what the fuck? I didn't tell you to do that. Like, well, you had a condom on for a reason. Now, if you didn't have a condom on, that's not sexual assault. No, it's probably not sexual assault. But I don't know. It might be. You never know. But yeah, at least ask for permission, fellas. Jesus Christ. If you wearing the condom. Now, if you're not, you know what it is? That's why niggas think it's okay. Because y'all niggas don't wear condoms anyway. Y'all niggas don't let the nigga wear the condom anyway. So y'all used to getting y'all backs and shit and asses and shit busted on and stomachs and shit busted on. Y'all used to that shit. I'll be asking permission because y'all know I'm the condom man, you feel me? That's why I'm 34 with no kids, no cap. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget when a bitch got on here and typed in the comments and said, oh, 30, well, I was 33 at the time, 34 now. Oh, 33, no kids, that's a red flag. Bitch, this sound like a smart nigga to me. What the fuck is wrong with you? That sound like a real smart nigga who just didn't want to get a hoe pregnant and get put on child support. Like, what the fuck? Bitch, are you stupid? Like, what the fuck? But anyway, that's why I fuck with these story times, man. Hey, man, y'all be careful out there, man. You don't want the nigga to ghost you, you know what I'm saying, after you give him the pussy. Unless, you know, some of y'all be wanting that type of shit. Some of y'all be cool with that type of shit. That type of shit cool. You feel me? Man, I'm with whatever you want to do. However you want to do it, fuck it with a nigga like me, we could do it like that. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You want to come prove yourself to a big boss player? Come on. If you want to come get fucked on real quick and run off and come back and shit, man, I'm cool with all of that. I'm cool with all of that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We can do it however you want to do it, baby. We can do it however you want to do it. It don't matter to me. But you give me the pussy, I'm gonna treat you right, baby. I ain't gonna disappear on you. I can't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you recognize your antennas was working. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls who antennas working, like, I fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because you're some bitches, right? Even though I'm still a big player, I still get denied sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, everybody who recognize and see what the fuck going on, man, I treat y'all like queens. And y'all gonna continue to get treated like queens, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all recognize what the fuck going on. Y'all ain't stupid. Y'all antennas work. So I fuck with y'all the long way. No cap. Anyway, I like this story. It was good. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rock with me. Make sure y'all smash that like button. It's your boy Ray. Big play!
A few moments later.
Would you look? Oh! We'll get somebody to clean that up. We're the ones that gotta clean that up.
Let's get these over to Mar-a-Lago.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have some very, very interesting bits of information this morning. Speaking of someone trying to save themselves, Jack Smith, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Smith, very interesting guy, very interesting individual. Jack Smith was appointed by Eric Holder. I want to set sort of the table here for you to understand who this scumbag is, because he fancies himself and he clothes himself in the robes of the highest possible judicial and election integrity. Yet Jack has been a Democrat hatchet man. He's obviously the special prosecutor that they're bringing in to look into Donald Trump, to sort of like tie the bow on all of these accusations against Trump. Now, did the government actually set up Trump? We're going to answer that question in just a second. But to answer that question, you have to take a trip down a primrose trip down memory lane for who Jack Smith is. So who is this guy? 2010, Eric Holder appoints Jack Smith. Jack Smith, in 2010, was looking across the river in Washington, D.C. at a governor named Bob McDonnell. Jack Smith decides to prosecute Bob McDonnell, and this was a guy who was, really popular, obviously. He ran the state of Virginia, and he was somebody who was looking to run for president, and arguably could have run for president in 2012 against Barack Obama. He would have been like a centrist Republican. He was in charge of sort of this purple state of Virginia. And Bob McDonnell needed to be politically destroyed, and they had the right man to do it, Jack Smith. Now, Eric Holder's still running the White House. Eric Holder and the Obama criminal cartel are still running the White House. And here we have, ladies and gentlemen, a perfect example of how they've done this to someone else. And it's very interesting to see the pattern. Pattern recognition is obviously the superpower that we have on this show. We're alive, we pay attention. So check this out. It doesn't even include the name Trump in it, all right? Here is the McDonnell versus United States ruling at the Supreme Court. And this is like really, really interesting. So the DOJ indicts and challenges that Bob McDonnell was corrupt, and that Bob McDonnell had effectively like taken bribes or like accepted cars or in-kind payments or in-kind contributions to his campaign. Kind of exactly, actually, what they asked for, what they said Donald Trump is doing in New York, in the state of New York right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the sort of paperwork here to show that Bob McDonnell's career is completely destroyed, right, by these charges. Bob McDonnell didn't run for president. They were able to move Bob McDonnell like out of the 2012 run against Barack Obama. And what happened next? After destroying the life and the political potential of Bob McDonnell, this case hits the Supreme Court, and what happens? McDonnell versus United States. What happens? In opinion of the court, Chief Justice John Roberts authored a unanimous opinion. McDonnell's conviction was vacated on the grounds that the meaning of official act does not include merely setting up a meeting, calling another public official, or hosting an event. This was exactly what happened. Exactly what happened to Bob McDonnell. This is exactly what they're doing to Donald Trump right now. They are setting Donald Trump up and charging him. This is why the immunity question is so important for the presidency. They said that Bob McDonnell's actions in office did not constitute official actions and were effectively bribes that were happening in real time, with Bob McDonnell setting up meetings or taking phone calls or driving in donors' cars. They destroyed his political life. They moved him off the table. And then Jack Smith, this same Jack Smith, got reversed at the Supreme Court by John Roberts unanimously, saying Bob McDonnell didn't do any of this stuff. It was just political hatchetry to destroy one of their leading rivals, arguably their leading rival in 2012. Bob McDonnell, would he have beat Barack Obama? I think he would have done a lot better than Mitt Romney did. And so this is proof of the concept of what they're doing to Donald Trump right now. It's called the wrap-up smear. They simply smear their political opponents. They get all the headlines. They know that all the charges are bull. But it doesn't matter. They control the press. They control the media. They're able to destroy. Take the name. I haven't said the name Trump at all. This is what they did in 2010 to Bob McDonnell. They were able to destroy the Republican rising up to defeat them. And it doesn't really matter the grounds. The Supreme Court reversed Jack Smith 9-0 in this case. Bob McDonnell is a free man today. But they got their result, which was the destruction of one of their political enemies before that political enemy could destroy them. And they're doing the same thing. It is remarkable. We were live for like 7 straight hours last week, listening to the Supreme Court's decisions on these issues. And what was the question before the court? What is an official act? How did the Supreme Court, led by John Roberts, with a much more liberal bent in 2010, how did they treat this conviction of Bob McDonnell? They overturned it, saying that there is no official act. The meaning of official act does not include merely setting up meetings, calling other public officials, or hosting events. Remarkable. So this is the same game plan. If there's one thing that these people are not, it is creative. They are not creative individuals. It's the same game plan. It's the same players, even. It's Eric Holder. It's Jack Smith. It's Barack Obama. And the setup is here. This was the setup, ladies and gentlemen. This is a clip of the inauguration of Donald Trump. Barack Obama walking out with Donald Trump to the helicopters, right? In this moment, there was already a plan hatched for the destruction of Donald Trump. In this moment, there was a set in motion orchestration by these people, even as they're clapping Donald Trump on the arms and hugging and smiling in the photographs. Underneath and throughout the entire federal bureaucracy, there was an organized attempt and an organized plot set in place to destroy the president and to ensure that Jack Smith could do what Jack Smith does. What does Jack Smith do? Jack Smith is a hatchet man. He's not a prosecutor. He is a man who, in Stalin's era, would be like Levante Berra, who was the muscle for Joseph Stalin in his sham trials. The famous line is, "Show me the man, I'll show you the crime." This is what Jack Smith does. Jack Smith sets up and orchestrates crimes for people like Donald Trump. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we have seen this morning in a shocking revelation, in shocking release of documents that we have just gotten light of. You can see how Jack Smith and the O'Biden, I think some people may call it, the O'Biden DOJ, has orchestrated the most muscular of all the charges against Donald Trump. The documents charge, the federal raid, the attack on Donald Trump, his personal property, the raiding of Melania's boudoir. All of this happened through an actual evidentiary setup of the president. Those classified documents, those stolen documents, the nuclear codes, they were all placed there by the government. They were given to Donald Trump. The government had possession of them, and they shipped them to Trump. This is the classic
So they can come back in.
Dave Chappelle, sprinkle some crack on him. Dave Chappelle, classic comedy bit. The cops, sprinkle some crack on him. Quick, let's get out of here. They are planting the evidence. Federal agency had pallets of documents sent to Mar-a-Lago 1 year before the DOJ raid. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. A federal agency worked with Trump transition team to send 2 pallets of documents, document boxes, relating to former President Donald Trump's presidency to his Mar-a-Lago home 1 year before Special Counsel Jack Smith then raided the residence to look for classified documents. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, here's a passed out guy in a car. Let's plant some crack on him. Then let's go knock on his window and ask us if he has any crack. That is effectively what has happened here. The federal agency that worked with Donald Trump, I will read it again, to send pallets of classified documents relating to the former President Donald Trump's presidency in Mar-a-Lago 1 year before Special Counsel Jack Smith then raided the residence to look for those documents. Smith indicted Trump in June of 2023 for allegedly mishandling the classified documents 1 year after armed federal agents raided Mar-a-Lago. But the General Services Administration, the people who handle all of the government sort of assets here, was in talk with Trump's team both during and after his term regarding the pallets of items from the president's tenure, emails show. The GSA informed Trump's transition team that there were 6 pallets that needed to be transferred from Virginia to Florida. Of these 6 pallets, 2 were designated to be sent to Mar-a-Lago and 4 were designated to be sent to West Palm Beach storage unit. These storage units, by the way, we covered how Barack Obama had a storage unit next to a McDonald's in Chicago, where all of his presidential documents were stored. It takes these people like long periods of time to, build the palaces to themselves, right? Their presidential libraries. Barack Obama building his presidential library right now. Where the hell are you going to store all your documents? Presidential library is normally where you keep all the documents from your presidency. Where are you going to store them? Barack, in a container, actually, next to a McDonald's, is where Barack Obama continues to store his classified documents. Donald Trump was going to put them in a West Palm Beach storage unit. According to emails, the 2 pallets were delivered to Mar-a-Lago from Arlington, Virginia facility, contained document boxes, according to the email, previewing the shipping charges. I understand that we are ready to ship. An email sent in August 2021 by Kathy Geisler, the Director of Office for Portfolio Management and Real Estate Program Execution Division. That included Trump aide Bo Harrison as a recipient. I know that originally we had 3 pallets go to the storage unit. Now it's 4 pallets go to the storage unit. These are pallets of documents. In July 2021, a letter from Harrison stated that the items to be shipped from Arlington, Virginia to West Palm Beach, Florida, were required to wind down the office of former president and are items that are property of the federal government. It's unclear how long the pallets sat in a Virginia facility or who had access to them. An FBI agent said during a witness interview that the GSA was in possession of 6 pallets from that office, contacted the office of 45 to inform him that they are good to go. According to a screenshot of the transcript posted by independent journalist Julie Kelly. You can see it right here on your screen. So the FBI is signing off on this before they raid Trump. This is bombshell stuff. I mean, this is like murder mystery criminal enterprise stuff. What is the moment? What is the moment? Absolute clarity. The moment of Zen. The moment of enlightenment. The moment of enlightenment is understanding that your federal government is an organized crime syndicate. That's it. This is organized criminal activity. The FBI signed off on these documents, said they're good to go. Send them to Trump. Did they, as some have suspected, as Donald Trump has said on Truth Social, did they plant classified documents in these pallets? Is this like a Nixon level thing? Where there's actually like CIA agents that are operationally like ensuring the destruction? Like Nixon's innocent, all right? Nixon was innocent. Nixon was set up. The guys who were raiding the Watergate, those guys were 6 of 7 of them were CIA agents. These guys, they were part of an operation. The person who was leaking all this information was the number 2 of the FBI. This was the deep state turning on Nixon because Nixon wanted to investigate and reopen the investigation of the assassination of JFK. So they concocted a scenario to remove Nixon from office. Barry Goldwater famously walked in the White House and said, we're going to have to vote to impeach you. Right? This is the deep state turn on a president. They've done it before. They obviously turned on Kennedy in a physical assassination. This is a legal assassination of Donald Trump, which may turn into a physical assassination. We'll see. They're trying to strip away his Secret Service and put him into the public prison population, which would be a legal assassination. Ladies and gentlemen, we have you can see right here on your screen. Let's click on that image, Clint. You can see right here on your screen the back and forth with the government who held all of Trump's documents. The idea was that Donald Trump was shoving documents down his pants. Here we go. We got all of our documents here. Here's our oh, look at this. It's the nuclear codes. Dude, quit. Shove them down my pants. Walk out kind of like a duck, like a penguin. Walk out of the White House. Sorry, I'm so sorry. That was this has literally been the narrative that has been spit out by the corporate press about Donald Trump, that he was sneaking documents out of the White House in his pants. I've heard that on corporate TV. And now, lo and behold, these documents that Jack Smith, the guy who has already done one of these Trump operations to Bob McDonnell, the guy who would have arguably had the best chance at beating Barack Obama in 2012. They set this guy up in 2010. They sent Jack Smith on bullshit. I'll say it. Sorry, I try not to swear, but it's BS charges. They destroy this Republican who was about to beat or potentially really challenge Barack Obama. They destroy him, and then they're overturned the Supreme Court 9-0, saying these charges are bull. They're doing the exact same thing to Trump. The charges were over what constitutes an official activity. We just heard the immunity argument. This is Bob McDonnell 2.0. We cannot believe this. They planted the evidence. You can see it here. They planted the evidence on Donald Trump. The FBI approved of all of this going to Trump. The GSA shipped it to Trump. Trump didn't steal Jack. The federal government sent this evidence to Donald Trump. Now, did the federal government plant classified documents inside of these pallets?
Yes.
An FBI agent said during the witness interview that they were in possession of the pallets. They contacted President Trump to inform them that they're gonna ship them to President Trump, that everything's good. Somebody has to pick them up, or they have to be shipped, or something to that effect, according to Julie Kelly's research here. The National Archives and Records Administration was also involved in the transition. The archivist, the angry blue-haired librarian archivist of the federal government, David Fierro, had become frustrated at the pace of good faith efforts by Trump's team to address the concerns, filing a screenshot according to Kelly. So the Federalist, who's doing this report here, asked the National Archives whether the pallets shipped by GSA included the documents that were later confiscated by Smith's team. So the librarians got back to the Federalist saying no, they have no awareness of the contents of the materials of the pallets and no involvement in the MOVE project, referencing the GSA email. So it had to be Joe Biden's Justice Department. Guys, I mean, this is unbelievable stuff. The Biden administration was in full control of every single document that went to Donald Trump. Donald Trump stole nothing. They set this man up. They set him up. Julie Kelly has done incredible work on this story, explaining how this all happened. Let's go.
GSA General Services Administration, they handled the transition. They had 6 pallets worth of boxes in a Virginia storage facility for 6 months. 2 of those pallets, about 2,000 pounds of boxes, these were all boxes, were transported to Mar-a-Lago in August of 2021. Now, who the hell knows what were in those boxes? Why were they kept there? Why, if NARO was looking for something, why didn't they just go down the street to Arlington, Virginia and go look in a storage facility? So, and then, Steve, what I found today, I went to the White House visitor log, which is always a good place to go when you want to see who's zooming who. So we saw David Ferrero met with Dana Remus, who was Joe Biden's chief counsel in the White House, met with her twice in September of 2021. Gary Stern met with Jonathan Sue, the deputy general counsel, at the White House. This is all happening at the White House in August of 2021. And then discovered today, Gary Stern again, the NARA general counsel, at the White House with Richard Sauber, who is Joe Biden's special counsel, top lawyer, with him the day before Jack Smith announces the criminal indictment against Donald Trump.
So all of these people are colluding together, and they set up Trump. They set him up. They shipped him the classified documents. They knew what they were doing. They shipped the uranium. And they had all of the media stories already planted. Everything was already like the nuclear codes. Remember the nuclear codes? Remember that entire news cycle that Donald Trump kept the nuclear codes? All of that, all of it has been orchestrated. It's been and a setup. They framed him. They did this with Russiagate. They framed Donald Trump. They're practicing the Bob McDonnell, Hillary Clinton playbook. They framed him. It's the wrap-up smear, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Fitton on Newsmax last night explaining.
You know, this archives treated Bill Clinton with kid gloves because we saw it directly. They argued with us over tapes he had that were seemingly classified in part, but then they did a 180 to go after Trump. And we see they did it with the support of the White House. The raid on Trump wouldn't have happened without support of the White House. Of course, it stands to reason that a former president subject to criminal investigations never seen before in American history, the idea that would be done without White House involvement at the most senior levels, you know, it's obvious that's what happened, and the documents show it's proof positive.
So it's proof positive. What exactly could be in this? There's this mysterious story that keeps bubbling up. This interesting story that keeps bubbling up about the CIA binder. Where's our CIA binder? The CIA binder's gone. It's inside. It was inside of a safe, inside of a safe, inside of a skiff. Where's our CIA binder on Russiagate? Where is it? It's really an interesting question. Like, what exactly were the classified documents they were looking for? Now, here's what we know. And Klein, let's pop this up one more time, this Trump inauguration. Here's what we know. We know that when Barack Obama and Donald Trump walked out together to officially send off the 44th president and usher in the 45th president, that this plan was already in the makings. Now, this plan was spying on Donald Trump. There was a secret meeting at the White House on July 8th, 2016, where Barack Obama, along with Joe Biden, along with the CIA Director John Brennan, was briefed on the Russia collusion hoax. John Brennan calling it a hoax, saying that Hillary Clinton paid for it, but also that hoax is a predicate to spy on Donald Trump, and they all approved of it. They approved, even though they knew it was fake. John Brennan said it's fake. They all approved of the opportunity to spy on Donald Trump and his associates. And so, setting in motion, obviously, the raid on Donald Trump, the political prosecutions of Donald Trump, that meeting, we are living in year 10 of Russia collusion hoax cover-up, because this has been going on since 2015. Donald Trump's a Russian agent. It's been going on a lot longer than that. We play you clips of them calling John McCain a Russian agent in 2008. It's been going on forever. They've been running this playbook for 20 years. You have to understand the pattern recognition. So as Barack Obama leaves, and Donald Trump's waving and smiling, I think with a bit of naivete, obviously, because they also had planned to rip. This is why they need to get rid of General Flynn, because General Flynn knew all of these things and understood how this operation worked. He would know where the bodies are buried. He's been on the show and he told us that. This was the operation. They continued to raid Donald Trump. They raided Donald Trump based on the CIA binder that allegedly had all of the information about their spying operation on Trump. Trump has regularly and effusively said he has the evidence to prove that he's been spied on. It just hasn't been declassified yet. And of course, the release of classified information, that's a big no-no. You go straight to jail for those kind of things. And so this was the setup. Pump Trump's documents filled with classified information, maybe even the missing CIA binder, who knows? Ship those pallets down to Mar-a-Lago, raid Mar-a-Lago, charge Donald Trump. Same operation they were using in 2010 to get rid of Barack Obama's #1 political adversary, Bob McDonnell, to destroy him, so they could run against simp, gimp master, totally cucked, dog on the roof, Mitt Romney, binders full of wood. They wanted to run against Romney. Romney was a patsy. They needed to get rid of the guy who would have actually beat Barack Obama, and this was the way they did it. And they used the same guys, the same team, and the same strategy. And they're doing it all to Donald Trump all over again, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously the missing binder. This is the 2016 Russian election interference went missing. What is 2016 Russian election interference? It's spying on Donald Trump. Look, what is it? It's the predicate to spy on Donald Trump. That's what it is. That's what it's been admitted to in court. That's what John Durham found. This is what this is what Russia collusion hoaxers have all found. The Bob Mueller investigation. That's what they all found. It's all just a predicate to spy on Donald Trump. Now, what about this missing binder? They shoved that into the pallets so they could come after Trump for it. This is what the question Jesse Waters asking.
Brand new details about how Obama's CIA targeted Trump and started the entire Russia hoax. For years, we were told that tips from an Australian diplomat tipped off the FBI after a random conversation with Papadopoulos, a no-name 20-something. But according to new reporting by Michael Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi, the whole thing was a CIA setup. Former CIA Director John Brennan identified 26 Trump associates to be targeted by the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, and then those interactions were the targets and were targeted by the FBI as suspicious. And that's how the FBI launched the Russia collusion hoax. The details of this entire operation have been stored in a top secret binder in a secret room in Washington. Trump ordered the whole thing declassified, and now the rumor is that the binder might be missing.
Well, where could they have put it? Could they have put the missing binder that was inside of a safe, that Kash Patel knows exactly the content of it? He comes on our show and he can't even talk about it because it's so classified. Again, the sharing of classified information makes you a criminal. Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, having a conversation on Rogan's podcast last week, talking about this. Tucker Carlson got threatening calls from CIA lawyers talking about the sharing of classified information and how it's criminal. This is Tucker Carlson while he was at Fox. Oh my. Was this the setup of the century? Will we find out that this is the setup of the century? That is all connected. And it's all connected to that clip of Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was there, Barack Obama, it was their regime that had been humiliated completely, entirely, and had been destroyed by Donald Trump. This was the setup. This was the booby trap. This was the intended result. To ensure that there was leverage against Donald Trump throughout his entire administration, to kneecap the entire administration, and there was a security pack. There was a lever they could pull to put Donald Trump in jail as soon as they were able to ply him out of office. This is it. And the horrible thing about liars is that the more you lie, the more you have to cover up your lies. So you need to continue to lie, and the entire house of cards is now falling down. And by charging Donald Trump, and by getting Donald Trump in front of this judge, Eileen Cannon, who you should pray for, it's an incredible judge, and not steamrolling this judge and they want these documents to be kept secret. But with every release of these documents, it becomes more and more clear that this was something that they planted on Trump. There's a setup. They controlled the documents. The Trump didn't eat them, shove them down his pants, put them in Melania's unmentionables. That the government handed Trump the documents after going through them and approving of them and potentially planting criminal evidence. The predicate, of course, of all of this is to spy on Trump, to raid Trump, to destroy Trump's civil liberties for an insurance policy so that they could destroy Trump. That's why Barack Obama's smiling there. That's why Barack Obama was able to smile at the inauguration. He knows the fix is in. Michael Schellenberger, one of the best journalists on earth, explaining how this fix operated.
Michael, explain how this all started with the CIA picking these 26 Trump people.
Yeah, good to be with you, Jesse. Well, obviously, this is an extremely serious story and serious allegation by multiple credible sources that Public and Racket, that's Matt Taibbi's publication, have spoken to. These are people that are close to the House intelligence investigation of how the Russia collusion hoax began. The story, as you mentioned, was that, we were just informed by foreign intelligence about this. Our sources tell us a very different story, which is that this was initiated by the U.S. government. It came from within the U.S. government's intelligence community, including the CIA, that they asked the so-called Five Eyes nations intelligence agencies, that's the other English-speaking nations, including Britain and Australia, to spy on 26 Trump associates, or at least they had a list of the 26 associates that were identified. This is new information. Some people have theorized about this and speculated about it. We feel very confident that our sources were in a position to know and are very credible in this report. And it's obviously a very serious allegation because this is illegal spying and it's illegal election interference.
Michael Schellenberger is not a Republican. He's not MAGA. I doubt that he's ever voted. I mean, we've texted a couple times. I don't know him personally, right? But I'm telling you, as a matter of fact, I doubt he's ever voted for a Republican. Michael Schellenberger is straight up, okay, so this guy, this independent journalist, this investigative journalist, is straight up saying exactly what we're saying on this program, which is that they planted classified documents at Mar-a-Lago as the predicate to set up Donald Trump. This is remarkable. Listen to this.
There has been widespread speculation that this binder was the reason or a reason for the FBI raid of Mar-a-Lago, and we'll be discussing that tomorrow. But obviously, if this binder contains what we have been told that it contains, which may include raw intelligence, information showing that the U.S. government, the CIA and the intelligence community of the U.S. government, initiated the Russia collusion hoax, that it did not occur in the way that the official story, including the Durham investigation, had portrayed it, then that's extremely serious information. And it may be, if the FBI then went to go get it in order to continue the cover-up of this information, that obviously adds an even more dramatic wrinkle to this. Again, we'll have more to say about it tomorrow, but this is a huge, huge story. I mean, I've been thinking about it in the history of the United States of America. Have we ever had something like this where the intelligence community was weaponized against a political candidate and using our foreign allies to do it? I can't think of a more important or dramatic story.
Yeah. It does absolutely demonstrate something that is so pernicious and so evil, the rot at the very core of the industrial complex that runs this nation. And that is that they will, without question, without even hesitating, act in an illegal and unconstitutional capacity to destroy any perceived threats. You do not live in a democracy. It is so tough to accept that reality that we don't live in a democracy. It's something, but it's definitely not a democracy. In a democracy, we'd be living through a second Trump term of roaring prosperity, and we'd probably have an extremely diminished and or entirely fired federal bureaucratic deep state, along with term limits, which 80 to 90% of the country agrees with. But we don't live in a democracy, do we? We live in sort of a controlled oligarchy, where if there is a piece on the chessboard that they don't want, Bob McDonnell running against Barack Obama, Donald Trump coming back into power, well, they'll do anything to destroy it. And you're seeing that here. Mike Davis, obviously somebody who worked hand in glove with the Trump administration, commenting on how the playbook for Russiagate just gets played out again and again and again against Republicans. And we should become smart about this, right? Because as we'll prove to you in a second, they literally yell at the top of their lungs what they're about to do to us. Okay? Here we go.
But we really don't know what these records are, do we? I don't know what they are. I mean, we got an affidavit that is all blacked out. I don't even know what they're talking about. Do you? Does anyone?
Well, I know from the Biden Justice Department leaks to Newsweek that they're going in there. The whole point of this raid was to go get President Trump's declassified personal copy of the Crossfire hurricane records because they're so damning for Obama, Biden, Hillary, James Clapper, Susan Rice, the FBI, the intel community. That's what this raid is about. This was so unprecedented and unnecessary and unlawful unless you understand that was the real reason for this.
Okay, and finally...
Again, these guys are our friends, but it's really important to let the people who truly understand the mechanisms here, the guys who have security clearances. Kash Patel still has the highest level security clearance in the country. Kash Patel still maintains his security clearance. Kash Patel has seen the other half of what they did to Donald Trump in 2016. He has seen the full setup. That's why Kash Patel is such an important voice on this. Here's Kash Patel on the planting of classified evidence at Mar-a-Lago for Donald Trump to get these charges. Go.
It does seem like there is like full-scale panic, a lot of buttons being hit right now. One of those buttons is a binder went missing of CIA material. This binder was locked inside of a safe, which was locked inside of another safe, called a turducken, I guess. You would probably know more about that than I, but these alarm bells went off, and we did a whole show yesterday on it about, wait a second, so the CIA is losing these binders of Russian intelligence information. That sounds like what Kash told us nigh on 18 months ago when he was in studio. And sure enough, you said they have all of this information exonerating Donald Trump in the Russiagate ordeal, hoax, and the government is sitting on it. They won't allow it to be made public. And now suddenly those binders go missing. What's going on, Kash?
It is the ultimate government con job. Nobody lost that binder. The Russians and the Iranians didn't break into the Central Intelligence Agency, then break into a skiff, then break into a safe, and then secretly escape with the materials so they could blame Donald Trump for missing documents. The CIA knows exactly where that binder is. So does the Department of Justice. But their grundoons in the media are like, how do we turn this on Donald Trump? Because it actually exonerates Donald Trump. So what do? We make it look as if Donald Trump stole the binder, which is completely preposterous. They actually know that. And oh, by the way, there's an email from the Department of Justice to the National Archives that says the binder has been returned. Thank you for giving it to us.
Little did we know. Little did we know. What Kash was telling us there during Christmas, you can see the Christmas decorations in the background, right? We're very festive around here. We even did a whole show with the Santa Claus hat on. Little did we know that the little present that was left under the tree by Grinch-like characters inside of the Biden regime, that the present was the classified documents shipped to Donald Trump that then they were going to charge Donald Trump for. Kash Patel just talked about the emails that are now public. If you were listening to the show 6 months ago, you would have heard that. And now we're watching that with like great revelation. I cannot believe he told us live on air what was going to happen and what had happened. Real quick update on everything that we have learned about the documents case really quickly here. And then a final clip sort of crystallizing everything for you about what the play is next. And then we will go immediately to Senator Mike Lee. Jack Smith hid the fact that the National Archives had several conversations with the Biden White House about bringing charges against Donald Trump. The U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland lied about the independence of the investigations of Donald Trump. The Biden White House counsel asked them to be kept in the loop about the criminal charges of Donald Trump. Biden's DOJ instructed the National Archives on how to do the cover-up coordination, and the Department of Energy discovered that Trump had an active security clearance, which would have, of course, exonerated him here. And so they indicted and retroactively terminated it. The real criminals are inside of the Biden White House, and we have the documents to prove it. We've shown you these documents before. We'll show them to you again. You can read the emails. Read it and weep. Jack Smith doesn't want you to see this. Jack Smith doesn't want you to know what's actually happening. He just wants you to listen to the narrative. And that brings us very nicely, ladies and gentlemen, to the wrap-up smear. Final thing on all of this. The nature of evil is that it can't be quiet, right? When Christ talks to demons in the Gospels, they like scream out. okay? None of them are silent. They're always screaming and writhing and hissing. Evil speaks, okay? Evil speaks. Oftentimes wisdom is silent or listens. But evil speaks loudly. When this party is committing evil, they tell you about it. And in an act of like absolute, we can only assume drunkenness, Nancy Pelosi, 7 or 8 highballs in at 11 a.m. in the morning, wobbled up to the stage. This is 12 years ago. This clip is 12 years old, and explained exactly what they do to Republicans. She explained the strategy of the wrap-up smear. And it is so instructive to listen to it just straight from her. So I'm going to remove myself out of it. Obviously, you guys know, where my allegiances lie, and my thought process is, and my worldview, right, on politics. Let's let instead Nancy Pelosi explain what Democrats do to Republicans, how they plant evidence and crimes, how they literally plant crimes on Republicans, destroy them in the press, utilize their organs in the press to destroy them, and then use that as a predicate for an investigation. Here's Nancy Pelosi, while Donald Trump was still donating to Democrats, while Hillary Clinton was attending Donald Trump's wedding with Melania, with Bill. We get those great photos out of that. Here's what Nancy Pelosi was saying about their strategy, and it hasn't changed. Let's go.
Down hospitals and the rest of it. So they don't want them to see that contrast, so they focus on something else. And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and if they see it's reported in the press that this, and this, so they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident. But I think I'm worth the trouble.
You ever seen that clip? 12 years ago? Nancy Pelosi in this moment of senility. So we create a lie, we plant evidence, then we use our organs in the press to destroy that person who we've planted the evidence on, and smear it. When people ask us about it, we're like, oh, look, it's been reported by our apparatchiks in the press. And then you merchandise it, right? Then you use it as predicates for investigations, congressional hearings.
Are ahead of ourselves, but Franklin Graham finds you refreshing. He doesn't find me refreshing. Richard Spencer, the white nationalist leader, says he could vote for you.
Joy, this is why
you're on Tucker Carlson at least 10 times. Why don't you go on Chris Wallace's show?
This is why I'm here, because you and other people continue to spread these innuendos that have nothing to do with who I am.
Well, Hillary Clinton started it, and then you shot back at her, boy. You called her the queen of
You double down, unfortunately, you double down on the baseless accusations that she made that strikes at the core of who I am. I'm a soldier. Because of the attacks on 9/11, I enlisted in the military to go after and defeat and destroy the evil that visited us on that day. I've served now for over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East during the height of the war, where every single day I saw firsthand the terribly high human cost.
Tulsi Gabbard delivered a jaw-dropping takedown of Joy Behar on live television, and the studio never recovered. From the very first exchange, the tension was razor thin. Joy had absolutely no idea she was walking straight into a storm she could not stop. It started when Joy, wearing that familiar smug smirk, launched one of her signature jabs. But this time, she went too far. Weak insults, hollow claims, a desperate attempt to back Tulsi into a corner. What happened next left the entire room breathless. Tulsi, calm, composed, and sharp as a blade, locked eyes with her and branded her a fool on live television. The audience gasped. Joy's face flushed a deep, burning red.
I am a patriot. I love our country. I am a strong and intelligent woman of color, and I have dedicated almost my entire adult life to protecting the safety, security, and the freedom of all Americans in this country. It was the attacks on 9/11.
Tulsi made one thing crystal clear. Yet she would not be silenced, she would not be bullied, and certainly not by Joy or anyone else sitting at that table. The other hosts squirmed uncomfortably in their seats as the pressure in the room skyrocketed. Joy, visibly rattled, fumbled desperately with her cue cards as if the answers she needed were somehow hidden between the pages. But her trembling hands told the whole story. Her composure was gone. So Tulsi had seized complete control of the exchange and